So I'm impressed that Mike McDaniel, I think we all like Mike McDaniel, most of us, right? I think most of us believe in Mike McDaniel. Does he have some growing to do? Of course. He's done a marvelous job of building a staff. He's got to still do better in adjusting and in-game adjustments. He failed against Buffalo 2 weeks ago, just like he struggled last year against the Chargers in San Francisco and things like that. So he has his moments. Some of the pre-snap penalties happened in that Buffalo Bills game. So he's not a perfect coach, but he's damn good. He's the best we've had here in decades, probably the best since Don Shula. And that's not saying much because they really haven't had a lot of great coaches here come through, but he is way better than anything that's been here. There's no doubt about that. But what I love for Mike McDaniel, and this is amazing because you can say that this list is more about projection than the reality. And let me explain. So Fox and their staff put together a ranking of head coaches. Did you see this? Okay. So they gave Andy Reid the number one spot. No surprise, right? Andy Reid, what he's done, won Super Bowls and developed quarterbacks, and he's the offensive guru everybody knows. So everybody has I mean, look, his offense was better last year without Tyreek. You can't beat that. So Kyle Shanahan is number two, another one that has a hell of a team in San Francisco. I think Lynch deserves a lot of credit for what he's built there. Mike Tomlin's number three. Interesting because Mike Tomlin has a championship that Kyle Shanahan does not. But I get it. Kyle Shanahan is the hot name now, and the offense and the team is phenomenal, and Mike Tomlin's team hasn't been as good lately. Sean McVay, who has a championship, is number four. Number five is Mike McDaniel on this list. Mike McDaniel has not even won a playoff game. He barely snuck into the playoffs last year. And he should have won a playoff game if he was prepared for the third down. John Harbaugh is number six, and he owns a title. And he does a marvelous job every year, even overcoming injuries and a limited quarterback. But he's got a title that McDaniel doesn't. Doug Peterson, doing a solid job with Jacksonville and already has the title with Philadelphia. He's behind McDaniel also. So you have so far two Super Bowl winning coaches behind McDaniel at 6 and John Harbaugh, Doug Peterson 7. Pete Carroll's number 8. Their team's not bad. They're a pretty decent team now. They've resurrected the career of Geno Smith, and he has a Super Bowl, should have 2. We know that. But he's accomplished way more than McDaniel, and he's at 8. Nick Sirianni for the Philadelphia Eagles. Didn't the Eagles win the title 2 years ago? Right? Did they win, right? Yeah, wasn't it? Yeah. Or did he just go to the Super Bowl? Now I'm forgetting. Did Philly win it, or they won it with Peterson? No, they haven't won it again. They got to the Super Bowl. That's what it was. Yeah. Hurts lost it. That's what it was. Hurts lost it to Kansas City. So they got to a Super Bowl. Yeah, they got to the Super Bowl last year and lost to Kansas City, right? So they got to a Super Bowl, which is more than McDaniel has, and he's won other games in the playoffs too in other seasons. Then Belichick, who's won 6, is number 10 now. So Belichick should be number 1, right? Because of all the titles. So is this a list that there's more projection behind it than what's current? Because how do you put McDaniel in front of Mike Tomlin? How do you do that? How can you put Doug Peterson, John Harbaugh, all these kind of guys behind Mike McDaniel when they've won? How do you put Bill Belichick behind Mike McDaniel at 10 when he's won 6 of them? It's projection. It has to be what you think at this moment. These are the hottest. This is the way it's trending now. Sean McDermott is not on there. No. Right. Right.
I say yes, projection with McDaniel, but not Tomlin. Like there's certain ones where I can sit there and say, okay, yeah, that's probably a projection. But when you look at,
I think they're just going by history that the Steelers will always bounce back.
I guess, and plus he always ends up winning with a winning record somehow. I guess maybe they're projecting that he's still going to do a good job this year and keep that going. And maybe it is more projection.
But it's interesting, you know what I mean? But it's pretty cool too for Dolphin fans to see that they are, respecting him. Now, it says coach evaluation is among less quantifiable things we'll do. Nearly all of the head coaches' jobs is done behind the scenes, and a great deal of it is subjective and context dependent. There are stats we can rely on indicating like aggressiveness, clock management, and formation usage, but a lot of them are dictated by personnel, situation, opposition, and other decision makers in the organization. That doesn't mean we don't have an idea of who's the league's best coaches are, who gets the most out of their players, who consistently runs excellent schemes, who do players swear by, who tends to win, especially in the playoffs, and who exceeds expectations. Our writers listed the 10 best NFL coaches based on their confidence in each coach, where they would lead their team right now. This is up to the present day. So it has to be projection. Kind of. A first-place vote merited 10 points in our methodology. It descends from there down to a single point for the 10th place. We then combine the scores to determine our rankings. So basically, you're kind of projecting what you think is developing into the league. And right now, these guys think that McDaniel is a top 5 coach in the NFL. Offensively, he's top 3. Right. They're stealing plays from him. Yes. Yeah. So even the guy from San Francisco admitted that he's stealing plays. He admitted he's stealing plays from him. Right. Yeah. Right. So, it's there's no doubt that McDaniel offensively, mind-wise, is easily in the top 3. Okay? It's him, Shanahan, and Reed. Let me just cut out the list already for you. Okay, that's it. Reed is 1 because Reed has to be 1 until these other guys start winning more titles than him. You don't take it away from Reed. And then you've got those other 2 guys, basically. But it's really cool to see he's gone from surfer stoner dude as a coach, because that's kind of what they look at him like, because the way he talks and all that kind of stuff. And like, wow, is this guy really a coach? I mean, we had people that could not take him seriously. And so they've gone from that to, wow, I really like the guy. Wow, his personality. Whoa, this guy can coach. That kind of stuff. But it's pretty cool. 5th overall, man. I like that.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.